Gemini, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late July 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's going on for the lovely Gemini collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous, my friends. Shuffle it up one time. Let's get to work here. What do we got for Gemini? Nice. And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going. Let's rock. What do we got for Gemini here, my gods? Start us off nice and smooth. Very interesting reading last week. I want to see what comes this week. Oh, all right. We got Lady Luck starting us off here, Gemini. That's my favorite oracle card to start off any type of reading, and that is for sure. So we got Lady Luck chilling right here. Let's talk about it. You know what? Before we do, though, I just love how it looks with all the casino and the cards and the jackpot happening. Before we fully get into that, though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the July subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate the like button by tapping it right on the third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk about our good friend Lady Luck here. So when she shows up in a reading, yes, this is the first portion, but to me it's very similar to the Wheel of Fortune. This card is a four-leaf clover to me, and you see the imagery here. We have Lady Luck, she's got the cards, she's got the money, she's got the slot machines, the dice, the four-leaf clovers, all the things here that represent the good luck and luck swinging in your way. So regardless of what shows up within this week's reading, whether we do have issues and challenges or even more good stuff, this bodes very well. Now, I do know luck-based energy could sometimes be fleeting, but it could also sometimes be karmic. It could be you moving into a fresh new cycle as well. But when she starts off a reading, I always say you might want to play some numbers. You might want to play the lottery when she's here. Okay, regardless of what shows up in the reading, that's a great way to start. Let's hope we keep it going here. So let's put Lady Luck down. Okay. And yeah, we're going to get into tarot now. And I do always say the first card, it doesn't make or break the whole entire reading. It's just a footnote for us. So let's get you 3 in the upright. Let's shuffle it up one time and see what we got for the Geminis here this week as we move into Leo season. So while we get the deck ready, let's talk about last week's reading. It was titled An Unplanned Situation. And there was a lot of mystery. There was a lot of energy of things just popping up, whether good, bad, or indifferent. For a lot of Geminis, a lot of unplanned things, whether it's unplanned adventures, unplanned people, unplanned this, unplanned that. I felt like it was a lot. And I didn't pick it up in just one area of the reading. I was picking it up in multiple. So we're going to see if that energy bleeds over into this week. It's very possible. As you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone you're linked to. Let's get you 3 cards and we'll keep pressing forward. What do we got here for Gemini, please? Late July. Starting with Lady Luck. I love it. Okay, so yeah, here's that transformation that we're seeing once again. We have the Death card. Do not be nervous about this card, especially if you're new to tarot. I like the Death card. I think it's nice. Okay, for some of you, that just might be a Scorpio you're connected to. Let's get 2 more. The imagery is scary, but the meaning of the Death card, I just like it. It resonates with me. That's because I'm a Scorpio moon, though. All right, here we go. We got the Sun coming up next to the Death card. That's good. Okay, that bodes really, really well. We have some powerful major arcana here. This could be some sort of big change for the better. I'm liking it. Let's get one more card out here. Could be seeing a lot of different things. Wow. Okay, we got Judgment on the back end here, Gemini. So you have some of the most powerful cards in the whole entire tarot deck showing up for you this week. Okay, Judgment on the back end, yeah. This is going to be an interesting, nuanced reading, my friends. Let me just try to get these cards straightened out. Let's just keep moving, though. I'm going to go through, give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. So at first look, first glance, like I already mentioned, all powerful major arcana, very powerful threads that could be pulling through your life and your journey right now. They mean totally different things, but I will mention this. 2 of them have those karmic archetypes on the extreme ends with Death and Judgment. Those are very karmic-based, cycle-based types of cards. And if we talk back about Lady Luck, I did mention karma and karmic cycles. So we're kind of seeing that theme. But that could all be about metamorphosis and change. Let's go through one by one. Position number 1, the Death card. Like I said, this could represent a Scorpio that you're connected to. If you're not connected to a Scorpio, this card is Yes, sometimes it could represent endings, but it's more about remaking oneself after an ending. Think of a phoenix rising from the ashes, or remaking yourself in some sort of way. This is coming out of a rough challenge or what seemed to be an ending of some sort into something new. So we think of the cycles of life, because life always moves in that continuous cycle, the circle of life, right? We've all heard it a million times. That's what this card represents. It doesn't mean that something terrible or horrific is going to happen. Now, there are warnings with every card, but to me, this is generally about change, transformation, and hope, aside from the karmic connotations. So we're going to see what's up with the Death card. I mean, it does have some gnarly symbolism on it, I'm not going to lie, but I like the symbolism. It resonates for me in my reader's brain. Now, moving to the center here, we got the Sun. One of the most positive cards, the most positive card in the whole entire deck. So this is beautiful energy. This is connected to the zodiac sign of Leo. Currently, at the time of this filming, we are in Leo season. So maybe Spirit, in my simplistic style, when they clarify, it could be showing us something that's going to be coming down the pipeline in Leo season, an event, a situation that could be coming up. But this is all about light, life, and love. It's happiness. This is source energy. So when we think of wins, when we think of victories, all-encompassing type of energy with this card. Other subnotes when we look at the Sun, it could speak about revelation, aha moments, eureka moments, things being revealed, truths being made known, breakthroughs. So we love this card. We love this energy. It could be something positive. But since we are in Leo season, I really want to check it out, because that's going to give us much more information. Now, moving to the very back end, we got Judgment, interesting angelic type of energy. I always say this card is Plutonian in nature. It is represented by the planetary body, or the former planet known as Pluto, and that is once again all about transformation. Now, when we see the Judgment card, it could be literal judgments, like making a judgment call, making a decision, making a choice, being at a crossroads. Absolutely. Maybe you're passing judgment on someone or passing judgment on a situation. This is a card of power to me, though. Like, you knowing that you have the power to resurrect something or let it go, remake something or start something fresh. This is extremely powerful. It's change-based. And once again, the Plutonian nature of this card tells us that it is karmic. It's all about, very similar to this Death card in the beginning. Okay, but it's someone who has the power to induce that change or make that change. But as far as pure power goes in energetic regards, I would say this is probably right up there. It might be one of my top 2 most powerful cards, because this is a push. I always say this is explosive energy. This isn't waiting. This is going. This is moving. So we have a lot of power here. That's the one thing I'll say with this spread. There's so much power. It's almost unstoppable type of energy. So with all that being said, Gemini, let's dive deeper. Let's jump in and clarify. Let's get a good shuffle here. And you know what? I do believe a few weeks ago you had karmic energy showing up. It's still here for you, my friends. But let's see what's going on. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Death card. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages that you want to give to Gemini, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Death card time. What do we got? Why is Death here, please? Thank you. Fool in reverse. Yeah, Spirit's trying to draw your attention to something that's already happened, something from the past. We have the Fool in reverse here. Okay. I'm also getting this intuitive vibe. I know some of you need to, you might need to hear this or tell this to somebody. Like, if you're not going to go through with it, don't even think about it. Take that for whatever it's worth. I know some people need to hear that. If you're not going to go through with it, don't even bother thinking about it anymore. Don't let it take up any of your mental space. Now, the Fool in reverse, this could talk about issues that you may be having with an Aries. You might be bumping heads with an Aries. But to me, when this card shows up in reverse, it's either someone that has cold feet to make a move, cold feet to make something happen, or we're talking about the past, something that's already elapsed. So when Spirit's showing that to us right in the very beginning, maybe we're looking at a timeline here. That could be a big possibility within this reading. We could be looking at a timeline, something hurtful that's already happened, that's already in the past. But what lessons can you bring forth from that is a big vibe that we're picking up here. But I mean, take from that what you will. Like I said, I was getting some intuitive things, but there is a situation that's already elapsed that is showing a prominent here in the energy, and I want to see how it unfolds as we move through. Some of you might just need to hear, don't let your past define your future. Don't let what you've done, what you've been, who you've been, define who you can be moving forward. Because this could still be change. This could still represent change and transformation for sure. But let's keep moving over to the sun. That was different. Let's see why the sun is here. And we'll get into judgment. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, we have the Eight of Swords in the upright underneath the sun card. Okay, if you have been having some issues, if you've been having some problems, some big ones, there's going to be some sort of revelation as to why. A lot of you could be receiving some big insight on things that you've been recently going through, things that are going on with yourself, whether it's your own inner health, whether it's the people that you're connected to. There could be a lot of revelations and aha moments coming in big time. Now, the Eight of Swords could, to me, represent someone that feels trapped in their own mind, trapped in their own thoughts. So this could be someone that's very nervous, very anxious, very much on edge. But it is that imprisoned type of feeling. Okay, so underneath this sun card, some of you might be thirsting for some sort of liberty or freedom of some sort. Maybe you just need to get away on a little vacation. Okay, it could be as simple as that. That's the interesting thing with tarot. But I feel like for a lot of you, there could be a lot of realizations and aha moments coming in, revelations, realizations, where it all makes sense. Like, okay, that's why that went wrong. That's why that didn't. Like, you might be doing a lot of self-analysis in this time. And if that's the case, be kind to yourself. That's the one thing I'll say. Aside from that, we do have the anxiousness and nerves that could be rolling up in Leo season. I want to see what we end up with over at Judgment, though. Like, I'm not going to stick around here too much. Judgment, like, really might tell us how something might turn out for you. Possibly. We'll see. So, why is Judgment here? Thank you. Yeah. All right. So I feel for a lot of you, we have the Five of Wands here in the upright underneath this Judgment. You might just be so completely over some sort of drama or someone's BS here. The Five of Wands to me could be a card of conflict. Some of you are just over it. Like, that's just the vibe I'm picking up right here on the back end. Like, okay, if you want to fight, we'll fight, but I don't even want anyone's drama or BS. Like, if you push me into a corner, fine, I'll respond. But for the most part, like, I just want to be drama free. Keep me out of your mess. That's a vibe I'm picking up here. Now, the Five of Wands, like I said, could be combative, could be conflict. For some of you, maybe you need to hear, like, maybe you need to push back on somebody, or maybe you need to push back against something. Maybe you need to get a little spicy, a little fiery, because this, with Judgment, once again, the explosive. So in this time, watch out for the conflict, especially with what I'm seeing throughout this whole thing. This could be a little warning about conflict, and it's a little volatile on the back end. So I'm not going to waste or spend too much time there. Like I said, some of you might just really not be in the mood to deal with anyone's drama or BS. You might just be over it for whatever it might be. Let's go through and do a quick recap here. You might just be staying in your own lane hermit mode as well. But let's go through real quick. In position number one, we do have the Death card with the Fool in reverse. I did say I got that intuitive message that if you're not going to do something, if you're not going to go through with it, don't even waste your mental space anymore. Just let it go. For another portion of you, this does feel like Spirit trying to have you reflect back on the past in some way. For a portion of you, it's knowing that your past does not dictate your future. Who you were does not predict who you're going to be. You can always change. You can always shift. And there's a lot of metamorphosis here and change on both ends of this. In the center, as we move forward, we have the Sun with the Eight of Swords. A lot of you could be having a lot of realizations and revelations, whether they're about yourself, whether it's about people around you, whether it's certain situations you've been going through. Like, you might connect the dots and a lot of things might make sense to you. Like, okay, I get it now, I understand. For a portion of you, you might feel like trapped or backed in a corner. You might need to get away for a little bit. Break free, spread them wings, my friends. Moving to the back end, we have Judgment with the Five of Wands in the upright. You just really might be over someone's BS or something in general. Staying in your own lane, drama-free, like, listen, I'm not about it. But for a portion of you, you might need to hear, maybe you need to push back against something. Maybe you need to fight against something or someone, because this could be an energy of conflict on the back end. Like, all right, don't let it go. Fight for it or fight against it. Whatever that means to you, my friends. Let's get you a shadow card. Let's see what's in the shadows for you, Gemini. Interesting reading, that's for sure. But let's see what's up. And you have tons of fire energy throughout this reading, like with the Fool, then we have the Five of Wands, and then we have the Sun. So this is heavy with fire. Now let's see what's in the shadows for you. What is in the shadows for Gemini, please? Whether it's something new, something old, something within yourself, I always like to pull a shadow card. Okay, Page of Wands, fire sign energy showing up in the shadows once again. When I see the Page of Wands, a big thing I always think about the shadow side of this card is it could be someone that uses up their energy on things that they shouldn't sometimes. So Spirit could really be asking you to really reflect on how you spend your energy, okay? Whether it's your mental energy, whether it's your emotional energy. I mean, it is a finite resource. So maybe you need to really analyze who and what you're putting your energy and your vibes into, because you might need to readjust it and focus it on something that's a little more worthwhile. Now, the Page of Wands, aside from fire sign energy, a lot of you could have big history with a fire sign, is a communicator. The fact that it's connected to fire and what we were seeing in the spread, maybe once again, Spirit is saying like, hey, speak up about something. If something is bothering you, don't suppress it, speak up about it, okay? And be direct, be blunt about it. I know a lot of Geminis, when something's bothering them, they are usually very direct individuals. I know you're not going to have a problem with hearing that, but something might come up in the coming days and weeks where you might have to whip that tool out from your toolbox, right? Like, be direct, sharp, to the point. So yeah, Gemini, that's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the July subscriber surprise. If you got your name in for the June subscriber surprise, the winners will be announced in my community tab after this week's fire and air signs readings. But for July, I'll be giving away 2 copies of the Everyday Witches Tarot. Once again, one of my favorite decks and one of the first ones I ever gave away on this channel. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, 2 simple things as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed, which I'm sure you already are. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the tarot suits, which one has your favorite art style? Is it the swords, wands, pentacles, cups, even the major arcana? You'll be entered to win. And at the end of July, I'll put the winners in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.